Taxodium distichum is the bald cypress. This is a plant that's native to swamp areas in the southeastern part of the United States. But it also is actually quite drought tolerant when established, so it will tolerate a wide range of moisture availability. It looks, you can see this, the form is pyramidal, sort of this pyramid shape. It's got a very strong central leader, so even when these plants are huge, and we will see some huge specimens of these at Will Rogers Park, the central leader still stands. It branches all the way to the ground. In some cases, you'll see them trimmed up to look more like a canopy tree, and there are some with that sort of treatment on the north end of the campus at OSU OKC. The foliage is very fine textured. These look like compound leaves with tiny leaflets, but each one of these is actually an individual small leaf, so those little needle-shaped leaves are all individual leaves. The branchlets actually fall off in the fall, so it looks like a compound leaf falling off, but it's actually a branchlet, because when these develop, they have buds, and you can't, a compound leaf just doesn't have buds on it, so it's a little bit different. These are gymnosperms, which are really not very closely related to the angiosperms, which are the broad leaf plants with the covered seeds. These actually are more like the cone-bearing pines and junipers, but they are deciduous, so that's why they're in this class. You can see right here, this is actually the cone. The flowers are more kind of like a pollen carrying and then an immature cone, and then these are actually cones with scales that will open up after in the spring, after they're formed, where they'll open up and release the seeds. When the plant doesn't have adequate oxygen because it's right beside water, the roots actually form these structures called knees. So when you see these close to water, they'll have these cypress knees to help exchange more oxygen, but when you have them just in a regular lawn or surrounded by ground cover, they don't really form the knees. That is just to get more oxygen when it's by water. We'll take a look at the bark. The bark actually is kind of a strippy color, texture, sort of a cinnamon red color. You can see right over just in this picture, it becomes kind of fluted or sort of folded at the bottom on large specimens. It's a beautiful tree. It's sometimes used in very formal plantings. It's also been used in sometimes almost in, when there's enough room, in a street tree planting and then pruned up. So it's very versatile. It's not just a plant to put by a pond.